Hi Girish. Meet up Girish Bhatia is based at Melbourne and is running a firm, Compass Consulting, and he will take us through what is he doing and what his firm is doing. So I want to know your journey as an entrepreneur. So what made you to do all the stuff and grow until this stage in the project controls industry, and what is your future objectives and aim? First, tell me who you are.
Okay, my name is Girish. I run a project controls consultancy firm and a software deployment firm called Compass Consult. We started with very humble beginnings as a consulting organization. We worked a lot in the project control space with clients, mostly in the transport sector. And then we started getting inquiries and offers from mining sector, and that's how we started as a consulting business. My background is civil engineering, and I am
That's great.
deeply connected with construction. I started as a site engineer.
Okay.
My journey started as a site engineer after I finished my engineering.
Okay.
And then I grew up the ranks. Project controls became close to my heart because I was seeing how projects are getting delayed and how budgets are getting overrun. I was only finding it out that it happens with almost 70% projects.
Okay.
And that's what prompted me
Okay.
to look into a career in consulting, in project controls.
That's a great journey. So you finished your bachelor's of engineering in civil in India, and you started to work there and move on to these ranks.
That's right.
And you found the problem, and you wanted to have the solution for the problem.
Of course. And look, what I've found is no matter which country you are, no matter where you're doing a construction project, all construction projects are the same. They usually have a lot of work, a lot of stakeholder engagement, and a lot of silos that people work into department-wise.
Okay.
And since those problems are everywhere, it doesn't matter where you began or where you worked and that sort of stuff. The fact of the matter remains that it's a bit of a laggard in technology, in the construction industry. I hate to say this, but that's the truth.
Yeah. So where you would like to see yourself in the next 5 years milestone, 10 years milestone? So we'll speak on milestone basis, achievements, your goal, future goals.
Yeah, look, thus far we managed to cater to a large audience within the construction industry. I might be a civil engineer and I might love construction and I understand construction in and out, but what I love even more is technology. And with AI into the mix, I see that we are actually witnessing a revolution that's going to take place. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I think AI is that opportunity. And in the next 5 or 10 years, we are going to take that opportunity, we are going to grab it, and we're going to move to the next level. I know there are going to be naysayers, there are going to be people who would be questioning the integrity of data, or the integrity of our intentions with AI. But all we intend to do is to move the industry forward, because a lot needs to be constructed, a lot needs to move on. And with that being said, I think we will have some fast movers, first movers as well, and we will take them along with us, and we will try and automate as much stuff as possible so that the professionals that are working in the construction industry are benefiting from the repetitive work that they were doing being passed on to the AI, and they being engaged in a more productive sort of work, increasing the speed with which construction is happening today.
Okay, that's a great idea, and we're looking forward that to happen in your capacity at the Compass Consulting. So coming to your strength, what is your invisible strength which drives you?
Look, leadership is an invisible strength in me, and I come from a business family. I've seen many businesses go up and down. I think one of the most important thing for any industry or a business to sustain is to make more than you spend. And for us to be able to run the construction industry in the positive way, where everyone is making profits along the way, and people are not going broke or companies are not going under liquidation, we need to increase the productivity. And for us to be able to increase the productivity, we have the advent of AI that is going to help us to improve these productivity rates. And I see it as a huge advantage.
Coming to your firm, Compass Consulting, do you want to tell about where are your offices based? What kind of projects you're doing? What is your future expansion plans? What is your upcoming strategy for Compass Consulting and for Australian consulting business?
Yeah, wonderful. I'll tell you where our offices are and everything, but I won't give you the strategy.
Yeah,
it's going to be giving away too much.
Okay.
Tell you that we have a strong presence in Australia and New Zealand. This is our prime region with a lot of focus on United States and Middle East markets for sure. We've done some good work in the United States as well, and we are trying to get into the Middle East market. Not that we are not there, but I wouldn't be satisfied with where we are today in the Middle East. There's a lot of work to be done. We have obviously offices in India, our back offices in India as well. So in Australia alone, we have 3 offices. We are based out of, right now we are in Melbourne. We have an office in Sydney. We have an office in Brisbane and an office in Western Australia. So those are, that's our footprint.
Yeah, okay. So you are going to expand to US market, which I heard from you in our yesterday conversation.
Yeah, look, the US market we've already expanded into that market with some consulting work. We're doing some great work there. Obviously, not able to state any names. We have some confidentiality that we need to maintain with regards to our clients, but we have a good clientele there as well, and we aim to solidify our presence in the United States in the next 3 to 4 years.
How is consulting landscape in Australia? What are the challenges? What are the pros? What are the cons? So how you want to navigate such environment?
Very good. You're going to bring me again to AI.
Okay.
So the first and the foremost challenge that I see in construction today is the lack of resources that actually know how to do the job. I might be blunt and many people might get offended when I say this, but we don't have a lot of people in the project control space who are really good. The other thing that I am finding, which is a huge challenge, is there are not many people wanting to get into the industry as well. And I'm seeing that with the younger generation, which is, let's talk about Gen Z, for example, they do not want to get into construction. So
it's not
the
lucrative.
problem, it's not lucrative, it's not sexy, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest challenge that we have. And the other challenge that we have is we've got an aging construction population. People who are in construction, they're going to end their careers in the next 10 years. And who is going to take over what they know? It's very difficult to grasp everything in the next 10 years of what they have, because everything is here, right? So what we need to do is, the solution is AI. I think there's a lot of times we can train these AI models to actually reflect what a construction personnel would be doing. And I think that's a solution to the problem, but that's not the only solution, but I see it as a solution.
Cost overruns are common in Australian projects. And what is your client's expectation on how you deal with that cost overruns and how you help them in dealing with the cost overruns in the project?
That's a very good question, and I have been trying to answer this question for the last 15 years, right? And if I can be completely honest with you, there's no one answer and there's no right answer. Because if there were, cost overruns would never happen, because we know they're happening and they have been happening for a long time, and we haven't been able to do anything about it with so much technology around. So there's definitely external factors. So what are those external factors? I think COVID was one of the factors that was like a like black swan event. And such black swan events, what they do with this is they basically add more complexity to an already difficult market. So cost overruns are not happening because people don't know what to do. Cost overruns are mostly happening because people have things in their mind and they are broken in their own silos. They work in their own departments, and because we are not able to move all of the intelligence that we have together and all of the planning that should be done, there are sometimes scenarios where we haven't planned for a scenario like that, but those scenarios occur, and then we don't have anything to do because we are already late. The other reason cost overruns happen is because of inflation. Inflationary pressures are driving cost of everything up today. So those are some of the other factors. And I sometimes think compliance and red tape is also a cause of cost overruns. But I think what is in our control is the planning bit and the coordination bit. And I think what we are trying to do is trying to solve that with our services so that we can plan better and we are planning to succeed, not failing to plan.
Yeah, that's a great thing. Coming to your best industry platform or events, which is your best industry platform to share things and network and meet like-minded people in the construction and project management sector?
Look, I will not be naming any sort of platform because that wouldn't be good, or that wouldn't be great to other people whose platforms I don't know. But what I can say is there are a couple of good niche forums, niche expos and outlets and trade shows that are very, very relevant to what how the construction industry moves and how the technology within this industry wants to move forward, and what they see, that leaders in technology see for the construction industry. And I think those conferences are always the best, and we get more value out of events where people are not too many in size so that they can't talk to each other. There's a niche audience where there are limited people, probably 600, 800 people, and they can talk about their problems, they can talk about solutions, and also build a network and a team that they can actually leverage in their future future journey, future projects.
Do you have any comments like the government should do in upskilling the younger generation into the construction sector?
Yeah, look, I think compliance and policy is not going to change the younger generation's mind. I think we need to develop more success stories coming out of construction. We need to have the voice of the people tell about the construction industry, tell good things about the construction industry. We need to innovate in the construction industry for the younger audience or the younger sort of crowd to feel lucrative, or to make it feel sexy for them. Because as I said, if there's no technology, if we are always lagging and our mindset is not evolving with the recent times, we will leave the younger generation behind us, and they would not be interested in getting into this field. So I think that's an honest answer, and please don't take me out of
we have to, but in future we have to work together with AI. What is the change management plans we need to put in our organization to encourage staff and AI to come together and work and deliver and grow together?
Very good question, actually. I think first of all, we need to change the perception about AI. Right now, people think, and when I'm saying people, what I'm saying is larger sort of segment of professionals in the construction industry, is what they think is that AI is going to take their jobs. And when you have that sort of mindset, you are shutting yourself off to the possibility of AI, because you are thinking of it as something negative. How about we put AI on a pedestal without thinking about our jobs, and say, okay, let's see what is the capability we can get into our business without thinking about losses of jobs or increases or losses of productivity or anything like that. And we want to see how much productivity can be increased. And obviously you need people that have the mindset to think positively about them, about AI, and those are the people who would succeed in future, because you can't stop the technology to enter the construction industry.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't stop the technology to enter into the construction industry. It will, even if you don't like it to.
If not you, someone else will.
Right? So what we need to do is we need to find individuals who are supporting change, and we need to make them the champions of change.
Okay.
And lead by example. So when you lead by example, when you have, let's say for example, a couple of companies who have embraced AI, and their employees are actually able to work a couple of hours less, or are able to cater to more projects in their job because of AI, that's where the productivity will increase. Because the productivity in construction industry is at stagnant levels since 2010. It's stagnant.
Okay.
So we need to increase the productivity for us to be able to construct more. We need data centers for AI. We need so much infrastructure for our population. We need aged cares for our aging population. We need to work on all of this.
Yeah.
And for us to be able to work on all of this, we need to increase the productivity.
Good thought. Tell me about your preferred tools in construction project management.
Look, that's a very good question. And I wouldn't want the audience to take into consideration that we already have a tie-up with some of these vendors. We are very technology agnostic, and we like to endorse tools that are good for our customers. And we don't take into consideration any vendor positions or any profit margins while making that recommendation to our customers. Now, in saying that, we do have some vendors that are more sort of customer-centric, and they have good products that suit the customer to do that particular job. Now, if you're talking about a project management information system, there are many tools available in the market, but we like the way Kahua operates in that domain. We like the nimbleness of the tool. We like how the tool is getting your teams out of silos and breaking them, and how well you can coordinate on your projects and get real-time information in front of yourself. Now, the other tool that I like in scheduling is obviously P6. It's been around for 30 years, and it will be around for a while.
Yeah, another 10 years.
Yeah, another 10 years minimum. And I like the tool because that's where I started my journey. And I think there is no other tool that can beat the scheduling engine of Oracle Primavera P6. Now, in saying that, if your projects are less than $20 million, I wouldn't recommend going for any Oracle product at all. I would want you to look at something like MS Projects that will do the job. But if you're looking at something real-time, something robust, P6 is the choice. When it comes to cost management solutions, we do not have any such relationship with Prism, like in terms of our business relationship, but we do recommend their product as well. That's a very good cost management product. And when it comes to document management, we think Aconex is a good product as well. And obviously, based on your requirements, based on your needs, we do an analysis. We come and do an analysis, and we have partnerships with all the major software vendors, and we try and recommend to you, and we have subject matter knowledge about those products, and we try and recommend the solution that's best for our customers.
I don't have any further questions, but if you are open to have some comments or advices to the engineering fraternity or project management fraternity, you can do so.
Yeah, I think, of course, look, I wouldn't say much, but I already said a lot.
Okay.
But I think we are at a very important juncture in our careers, in our, in the industry, I would say, where we've got a perfect blend of opportunity to use AI because it's now mature enough to be able to be used in construction, and also we have some resource constraints and resource gaps that can be easily filled with artificial intelligence. And I would recommend all our people in the industry to look at AI as a friend rather than someone who's coming for your job, because it's not. We need people in the industry who can run these AI models, who can work with these engines, and who can get the productivity to increase along with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Girish.